also will play a part, but we'll see how aggressive Taco wants to use the ultimate, whether it's like for himself, whether it's for a dive, or whether it's to protect the Aphelios. I think we'll see more of that as the game develops. But yeah, I also like the CFO composition. They've got a bit more of a straightforward composition. It's a bit easier to
Yeah.
play out. You know, they've got the Gnar, Kalista, very team fight heavy. They want to go for that 5v5. So fingers crossed, if nothing too big goes wrong, CFO should be able to play this one out. I mean, Gnar, Galio, of course, they've had a lot of practice with, but we will see. There's the early ward over in the back of the blue buff pit.
Yeah, and for CFO, this is such a simple composition, right? You have a lot
Yeah.
of basic go tools. You have the Gallia ultimate, the Callista ultimate, the Renata ultimate after the Callista ultimate. It's so easy to set up plays for this squad, and for the side of MFT, how are you going to make plays? That's the real question. Renhao, this is a big test for him. This is the jungler's jungler, right? Where if you're playing Lee Sin, if you don't show those mechanics, you're gonna look like a big fool locking this in so early in the draft. So we need to see how he performs on this pick, and also just the fact that he doesn't have a whole lot of help. If he's trying to make early game plays, his team's not about those early game plays. That is going to be a big risk they are taking. And CFO looking for an early trade already. Then it's kind of a minor win. They zone him off, or try and zone him off the wave. So, you know, all in all, kind of whatever.
Yeah, just a bit extra damage onto the MFT lane. But I mean, in pro play, you know, you're gonna take what you can get, right? Just like 100 health, 1 AA here and there, still might make a world of a difference, especially in the early levels. Might have maybe put a wrench in MFT's plans if they're hoping for something like a level 3, level 4 Lee Sin gank over towards bot. We'll see if they might want to do that. Chris gonna hit his level 2 finally onto the Gnar. But yeah, talking about Renhao, of course, a lot of pressure on him this time around. I don't think he has that many options early on in terms of where to gank, which is a bit of a problem because you've got Keel over the top side. She's not going to really scale.
She doesn't play the
yet.
game.
She's
for
got
a while.
no CC. Yeah, she really needs like her E, her passive, her Q to start kicking in with the levels, and then plus she's way more useful in a 1 versus 1 person situation. And then you've got the Victor early levels. Like he's not really looking for the experience.
He doesn't play the game either.
Exactly. He hasn't upgraded his core yet. You know, sure, you stun someone, and then what? You know, your Q is just gonna barely tickle and stuff. So not all that many good options for Renhao early on. We'll see how they decide to play. Of course, they would love it to give the game gone to Aphelios, but Gemini already with the wraparound right here is just gonna completely ignore Scuttle. There's a very good ward by MFT, so Gemini's gonna hit this grind just to make sure.
This is a Predator.
Oh,
The Predator being popped.
4v2.
Mission waiting for this wave to come in. This is going to be a 4v2. Renhao stuck all the way top lane as a support. Doesn't understand the timing windows, and now that will be the dive going in, but they should be able to return a couple more. It does go 1 for 1. Not a bad deal for the side of MFT. They are able to answer back, and they are able to also catch this wave. A decent chunk of gold going into the hands of this Victor, and Victor snowballing can be a win condition because of the fact that now you're going to speed up closer to that evolution on your Hex core as we get to see the replay.
Yeah, so you get teleport coming in from Victor, and Koala taken solo. There's a Renata shield, but I think the Victor does manage to get the finishing blow with Q, and I think the difference really comes down to 12-11. Koala just very nearly would have made it out of that one alive, but as you said, just very costly for CFO because they pulled a lot of resources down there. They had 4 people. I mean, sure, Victor doesn't have the teleport now. It might affect the dragon fight, but he's in mid, so he can just straight up walk there. Also, so it's not going to cost them too much. I think they did well to get what they could out of that one. I want to commend CFO though. Oh, here's Mission with yet another roam.
Another dive
Does
attempt.
see him. He's gonna
Kale's not
their
level
wave.
6 yet,
Oh,
but
no.
Mission's only level 4. Will be able to get the taunt off. Do they have enough damage to finish it off? It looks like it will be successful, but Rest has to flash. Mission has to flash, and now Renhao making his way over will be able to collect the CS at the very least. But Taco sort of shut down here. Will be able to use the teleport to get back to lane, but it is going to be an early death and a decent chunk of EXP missed.
Yeah, you can just see the effects of the 12.10 changes to the tower damage. There was kind of like that panic flash from both Mission as well as Rest just out of the tower. The second they got a kill on a Taco, they were out of there. So
I am
fast.
done with this tower.
Yeah, bye. Bye, Felicia. But MFT, you know, they were about maybe 5 seconds too late in trying to pull the rest of the numbers. Oyster top side Paula. They had some good CC down, but then MFT, again, with return CC of their own. It's not going to make all that much of a difference. Gemini, popping the pods. Also, Mission, before the tower dive up and top, he already had popped his pods before he went to the tower for the taunt. Just, I love that he was so prepared for this patch that happened. But what I wanted to commend them earlier for was that there wasn't a lot of action going on at level 1, except for the fact that CFO went for the ward over on blue buff early on, which was what gave them the knowledge of Renhao's pathing, so they knew that they could 4-man safely dive the bot lane. Because we said it over and over again, 12-11, you rarely see these early game tower dives because they're so dangerous, but they prepared that all the way back from level 1. So very big brain of them. Gotta give them the props. Props
really nice scouting coming in from CFO, knowing that, hey, if they're going to put a support there, perhaps he doesn't have a great read on the map. And that also happened, the top lane gank also happened as a result as well, knowing that, hey, Renhao is going to be a little bit behind on the play, but now he is here for the play. Will be a 3v3 down in this bottom lane, and it will be Gemini being forced off. But Gemini, course, on the Viego, has been able to just focus on farming. He hasn't needed to make plays because the roaming jungler has been Mission on this Galio. He's a little bit behind on EXP level 6 when Wen is level 7, but that's allowed Gemini to hit level 6 no problems asked, and now he has access to the ult when Renhao is now going to be able to hit level 6. But it's, you know, a big timing window when you're trying to make a dive happen bot lane and the Lee Sin doesn't have level 6 and your Viego does. Nothing happened. It
looked like it might. It looked a bit sketchy for a sec there, but yeah, I completely agree with you. I think a lot of times we see CFO's playstyle, Mission's playstyle, is that they tend to put Mission on like these utility type of champions, Galio or Rihanna, for example, where he's very willing to sacrifice what he has to for the sake of his team, right? We saw him go for the dive over towards bot side, instantly hit up towards the top side to help out his laners, and the fact that he's able to get Gemini ahead in the Viego versus Lee Sin means that you're pretty much going to be useless as Lee Sin if you don't hit 6, if you don't make an impact in the early game. So it's very well thought out from CFO, and I love that they're willing to go for
that's the ult.
Team play, but
Tom Kench here does have the ultimate, will be able to ult out Whale, but now here comes the Galio, and Whale, he's just eating so many spears. How much damage is this run gonna do? More than enough, and that will be a kill secured for Atlan. He racks up his second kill, and down up in this top lane, Taco takes a lot of harass, but will be able to survive, given that he has some healing coming in from Fleet Footwork. Also has the extra range now to farm from relatively safer distance than before, and still had the ult as well. So no threat up and then top side, but CFO making enough plays to really warrant their composition. And we talked about this composition, like it can do whatever it wants. MFT, they're a composition that's like, let's just wait, let's keep waiting. Let's wait some more. can we 1v like all these all their carries are on kind of like 1v9 champions?
Yeah.
But until they get to that 1v9 breakpoint, it feels like we're just waiting.
Yeah, I think MFT have to be careful to just not fall too far behind before late game. Like, if they're a bit behind into late game, that's fine, because Aphelios and Kale's just gonna naturally scale regardless of what kind of gold she has in her pocket at that time, because Kale scales with time, right? She gets scales with time and EXP, so you just kind of gotta wait it out, and she will get a lot stronger right there. Gemini gonna take a Q to the face for clearing that ward. It don't even matter because the shoe just drops another one straight up at Alan. He's about to 100 CS, 25 CS ahead of his winning counterpart right there. They're gonna try and hard shove his bot side. Their shell is gonna be able, should be able to take this one after the shell charge. Yep, there it is.
Very, very low.
11-minute easy tower. Gonna go over to CFO.
Will be able to finish it off. Pretty much brute force play coming in from CFO, making sure that they get that extra gold onto Atlan. Renhao waiting for an angle onto Koala. Does jump in, nice little handshake there, but the flash kick, this is the play we were waiting for, coming in from Renhao, and it will secure the kill onto Atlan, barely though, as it will be Issue forced to use the ultimate on to his jungler, and then on the back end, Wen comes over and gets yet another takedown for that for the Victor. Haven't seen Victor in a while. It completely escaped me, but we get to see the replay.
Yeah, so they're kind of just being in a bad spot, right? So you can see Renhao, he had
bad
the ward over in the river, which allowed him to just peel onto the ward and then straight up follow that with the kick onto Alan. I don't think Alan and Koala were really expecting it. Bit of a mistake, especially considering the fact that Koala especially is one of the most experienced players in the PCS. I'll have to check, but I think he is the oldest player in the PCS. I know the CFO squad in general has the players of like
Teen Boomers.
I'm like trying not to say boomer and trying not to repeat old because like we gotta show them some respect, right? But if I'm not wrong, I think Mission and Koala, they're around like 2016-7, around like Faker age. Koala might be a year older, but there was like a thread once online on the PCS message boards. They were counting just average age. All the players from both squads and see if let's top that list. We're going to go get what we missed earlier, which was Gemini. Picking up a pretty easy kill, dodging
1v1 kill, pretty good.
Renhao Q as well, so no follow-up available for the side of MFT. CFO actually, interestingly, are going to pick up the Drake.
Taco still has doesn't have the ultimate actually. He's just going to die very, very easily. Gemini secures yet another kill, and this game was really all set up for Gemini to carry, right? From the level 1, scouting out where Renhao was, and just having Mission do the jungler's work for him, doing those early ganks, knowing that, hey, Viola doesn't have great early ganks. Yes, he can, but you know who has better early ganks? It's Galio with the Predator, and that's exactly what has happened. And in the meantime, you know, Gemini's just like, hey, I just get to keep farming up EXP, continue to out-farm this Lee Sin, who needs to do something in this early game in order to get value. And so far, yes, he's 1-0-1, but how has he helped his team? Not really a whole lot, although Atlan coming under fire will take a bunch of damage, but he will stay alive. Now Will taking a whole lot there. He'll remain alive as he uses the Severin ultimate actually to negate a lot of the damage coming in from hostile takeover.
Yeah, that's actually going to be enough to push MFT off. It looked a bit dicey right there because Mission was over in the top side. Actually, CFO had 2 members backing, and Mission had, I think, teleported over to top. So if a fight broke out mid, the CFO were 3v4. No one was able to join them. I'm actually a bit confused as to why MFT didn't choose to get the dragon after they got the double kill onto Alan and Koala. I know it happened a while ago, but we were stuck in the replay, which is why we didn't see that. And actually, CFO were able to pick up the dragon later on. off screen. So I'm really confused why MFT didn't want to snowball their bot lane double kill into the dragon. I think it would really have changed the tempo of the last 3 minutes.
I mean, my guess is Renho probably used Smite when he went for the kill onto Koala, and as a result, didn't have a second Smite up. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
And as a result, they decided not to go ahead and risk it, which makes a lot of sense if it did indeed happen. But as a result, Whale gets a little bit too greedy, gets caught out down in the bot lane, and Gemini able to get his first kill. Now he's 2-0-1 as a completed Fine Sunder, whereas on the flip side, yes, we have the completed Core Drinker, but still half an item behind this Viego, who, of course, again, scales much better than Lee Sin. It will be Rift Herald tossed into this mid lane, and interesting enough, we have a crown completed by this Galio, so looking to just initiate very, very quickly, has the flank angle here, will get the crown popped, and, well, I suppose he's kind of tanky, but Whale now does come under fire, has a green-white, which is going to give him a lot of range, but now Wen is here, dumping out a lot of damage. It will be the knock-up, and also a sacrifice, as that's a double kill for Wen.
Alan, what happened? We were all rooting for you.
That was Koala, though. He threw himself there. As a support, you have control of where you want to go, where you want to drive.
That's just the burden support, man, making it rough for you as the AD carry. There's Gemini. They're gonna see him. Rest as well, just gonna toss out a boomerang just to say hi, but it's gonna be an easy.
Here's the replay.
One.
Yeah, and we see the collapse onto Mission. He gets his crown popped. That means he doesn't have that extra tankiness, and it really is just Koala, Atlan, they walk a little bit too far up, and I love the identification coming in from Wen. Seeing, this is the play I can make. This is a much different Wen from last split, where he was just stuck on Galio duty, stuck on set duty, trying to wave clear mid and help out 665. This time, Renhouse saying, you know what? I may not be very helpful, but when you're going to be put in a position where you can carry the game, and this is a very, very different Wen that we've seen from the entirety of Spring Speed.
Yeah, and talking about the crown as well. Crown, I think before durability patch was never in a good spot because it's not a popular item. People didn't really want to pick it up. After durability patch, it kind of became even worse. So 1211 has a couple of buffs to the item. I think it went from 60 AP to 70 AP. So in addition to all the other stats being affected with durability, they tried to buff it a bit more in terms of base stats, so you get more of the flat AP. But it's still not ideal, but you know, the way Mission plays it on Galio, I can see why you would want to make this work. CFO also do manage to pick up their third dragon without any issues at all. They do have a bot as well as top and mid right now being pushed in, so it's kind of tough for MFT to walk out of their base. We were talking about Lee Sin. He falls behind, and there's not all that much you can do because your tier 1 towers drop. That just means you can't ward into your jungle safely, and that just negates the effectiveness of the champion. So MFT want to play this very careful. We said they can be a bit behind. It won't be an issue, but the thing is they're 6,000 gold behind, which is not great. Not great at 20 minutes.
It is definitely not great, but I think eventually we'll see the gold charts pulled up, and I feel like Wen is very close to the top, if not at the top.
Yeah,
with
for
4
sure.
kills and farming relatively well at 184 CS. Has gone for a very interesting second item, though. Has gone for the Rylai's as, okay, it might be a 1v1 kill down in this bottom lane. Taco does have to burn Flash. Does still have the ultimate available, so does have his teamfight utility with the unsealed teleport. So
Yeah,
that will be
right.
something to keep watch of.
Bright lights and stopwatch just signals to me that MFT haven't given up, that they're still going to go for the 5v5. They're still trying to wait for the kill and then get that miracle team fight off to try to turn this around, right? You've got bright lights, you go for the AoE. At CFO though, it's a 4v3 up in the top side. Lucian's going to be able to jump into Wen for a bit of safety. Rest versus Taco, the 1v1 over in bot. Oh, Taco taking so much damage though. Down to about half health already. CFO do back off from the top side, but Win is pretty low on mana, and she wants to base for a bit. There's Rest stealing Grump. They're just taking all the camps from MFT at this point. So CFO going for a reset. They're gonna have 4 members back and then see what they want to do. Essentially, they could pretty much push through any of top and mid as well as bot and try and start for a fight there. We're just past 20 minutes, so Baron is alive, but it's still about 2 minutes to Dragon yet, so not a good opportunity for them to fight. We'll see where they go. Meanwhile, player gold rests easily at the top of the table. Kind of snuck in there without us noticing. He's at 9,600, and yep, as you predicted, there's Wen 9,100 right there. I think MFT is gonna try to count on the victor in the team fights. The thing is, I'm not sure if CFO will allow that to happen because their composition, firstly, is so strong. They've got the Nod, they've got the Galio, they've got so much just deny potential. They just jump on your face, and now that they know that there's only Wen that is the threat on the side of MFT, it's just so much easier to target Solar.
Well, you say that, but now, if they know that we're trying to kill Victor, and we know that as well, we have a Tom Kench, you know? Tom Kench just eats up the Victor, and if that doesn't work,
you've got
we have a Kale.
You've also got the Lee Sin who can just straight up kick anyone out.
Yeah, he's just gonna sit on Kale.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, Wen, I'm your best friend. You know, me and you, we hang out all the time. Don't worry about it. If they jump onto you, I'll kick them off. I'm the best wingman. And you know what? He's going to have to show it because 1-0-3, not a bad showing on Lee Sin. But we need to see a lot more from this game that needs to get, or a pick that needs a lot more tempo. Rest now. As Meganar pops, they will force their way into the river. Or maybe MFT just go for a YOLO Baron play here, just trying to trade out Soul, knowing that it's going to be hard for them to face check. But they're going to try and contest this Dragon. It is, of course, Ocean Soul, so it's a pretty impactful Dragon for these team fights. And now Taco, he's going to get taunted up. He's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to have to use the ultimate on himself, and that's exactly what happens. But he should still go down. Indeed, that's what happens. And now Wen, he doesn't have a great spot to try and find the play. He has the Riley, so bringing a little bit of utility, but it means that he's not going to be able to just burst out one of these backline targets. Now, they're being forced into this choke, and that means it's an easy target for Mission to find good taunts. Does land a multi-man taunt, but now the turn comes in. This Riley is making so much space for them, but now when he gets jumped upon, they secure the Ocean Soul, and now it doesn't really matter because you've got the regen, and now you've got the chase, and CFO mop MFT off the map.
What a good turnaround from the squad of CFO as well. Outland, crucially, I think they're able to lifesteal off of the Dragon. Kind of in the middle of the team fight looked a bit dicey because he was down to pretty low health, but thankfully was able to regen some of his health back. And I think the star of that team fight for me was definitely Mission. I think we'll see the replay in a bit, but I think Taco was kind of over towards the top side of that fight. Kind of thought he was maybe going for the flank, but then Mission flanking.
He thought he was fine walking here because, you know, usually you'd expect, hey, they're all showing in the river. There's surely no one going to cut me off because if they position themselves there, then it's so easy for the rest of my team to collapse. But he had so much damage at this point in the game. It's not quite later in the game where Galio does drop off, and now he comes in, flash taunt only ends up landing on 2, but it eats up yet another ultimate coming in from Renhao. That's the Lee Sin kickdown. And then he falls back, waits for a good position, and uses the Galio ultimate to create even more space. Every single time Mission touched his keyboard, it just looked like there was just going to be more flashes and more death from the side of MFT.
Every time a Mission touches his keyboard, magic happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And a Galio gets his wings. What's going on? But yeah, because you're talking about the AoE from Victor of the Rylai's, right? So CFO knew how to play around that. They actually instantly all backed off. They made Galio out into that to protect Atlan on the Callista, made sure he had space to then go for the follow-up. So they did that very smart.
That's the ultimate. Yeah, Philios throws out that Gravitum, does lock down too, but Claw being one of those targets means that Atlan can just ult his support out of danger. Also provides that threat of re-engage, so MFT, they're just forced to back off. That's one of their tools gone to try and flip the game back into their favor.
Yeah, the saving graces of the MFT squad is at least their wave clear isn't bad. You know, they've got Victor who's always gonna be like, he can sit in base.
Oh no,
and
Taco.
Sit there and, oh yikes. Yo, this is not the Taco I was promised, man. Where's the Taco from yesterday? What went wrong? Anyway, yeah, like, it's not gonna matter at this point because MFT, they're basically shambles. Like, Victor wave clear is just a small part of this game. First rest. Oh, jumping in.
He's going to be a mini now. They look to actually go and turn for the fight. This is a great start, but now Galio ultimate once again stuffs the engage coming in from MFT, and now they're going to have to reset. Maybe they will be able to hold on to their base, though, as it looks like CFO is still looking for a little bit something. Taco, level 14, still far from level 16, does get hand shook into the side of CFO, but for now, it looks like they're doing okay, but Mission is like the boogeyman. He's just threatening them so hard. That's going to allow a really nice hostile takeover to come through, but one kill down. That's the Renata going to take a seat in this team fight. Atlan will be able to disengage, and it's CFO, while they're able to essentially break everything in the base of MFT. MFT still have a Nexus, and that might be an issue, even though it doesn't sound like it so far. Taco is level 15 now.
Yeah, he's really close to the level 16. Again, spike from the kill. There's Renhao. They're gonna try and
that's the
3v1
kickback. Rest is about to go mega. And I mean, 1v4, they should eventually be able to take him down, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty good timing for MFT because Dragon 1.5 minutes, Aaron 2 minutes as well. So the rest of CFO, even though they went back, there's not really all that much more they could do because all lanes are pushing. They've got new objectives to grab elsewhere onto the map. So MFT, I love how player cam, he's still laughing at one as well. Looking a bit still upbeat, you know, despite how this game is going. We're down about 12,000.
Yeah,
at 20
but
okay, so Kale, you know, she's scaling, she's powerful now, she's got the attack
16.
speed. She's 16,
okay.
Do we see a universe where MFT make it back in this one? The JT multiverse.
I mean, it's still a pretty large deficit, right? But we saw yesterday, MFT also in a very large deficit, but they got Taco to level 16. And even though they eventually lost that game, it dragged out probably 5 minutes longer than expected because of how long it was able to stall. But now, a lot of super minions streaming in, but if Taco's able to be that secondary threat and pull attention away from Wen, then maybe Wen's able to do more damage, and maybe Whale's able to do more damage. So right now, there's just such large hyper carry threats that the only way for CFO, I would say, to finish this game, secure Elder, secure Baron, it's a pretty easy way to finish off the game, but they still need to take those extra steps. They can't just walk into the base and eat up the next.
Yeah, I mean, it's textbook for a reason, right? You can see CFO right now, they're over onto Elder. They can just 3-man it at this point, especially with the Callista. For MFT, Kale is level 16. What I want to see is a world where Taco did not get caught before a fight and exports the ultimate on himself. I think we haven't really seen a situation where Wen is able to use that Victor to perfection, get that AoE, get his R, get his Q down, and then have the Kale protect him, because earlier on we saw Taco just get caught out by Mission and we didn't see that fight. So if MFT want to have the chance of
Here we go.
stalling more, yep, it's got to be this.
They gotta look to fight sooner rather than later because they only have one turret left. That's going to be the Gnar ultimate going in. Not quite a ton of damage, but a little bit of a burn coming down onto MFT. Now, that's going to be a flash hostile takeover. They're going to be able to take over the side of MFT, and they're just ignoring the team fight altogether. They're going straight for the Nexus and then kill him. They finished off the tower, and now they're just playing with the food. CFO, they will go to 1-1, and MFT 0-2.
Yeah, I like how it was such a normal day in the shop for them. You look at the CFO player cams, except for Rest, you know, everyone else is just like, you know, just regular day at the office. They don't look all that happy. There's Kevin as well, one of their coaches. I think he was maybe analyst last season. This season he's definitely one of their coaches, was from the LJL as well. So CFO are backed up by a pretty good support team. But yeah, I mean, what a game, what an ending. I think we kind of saw the end coming from about 10 minutes into that game. Not even 10 minutes into that game.
From draft,
yeah.
to a certain degree,
Yeah,
right?
it was a bit of a weird, like, why are Kale